Championships, the first event of its kind to be held in a decade. John Neighbor here, along with our Olympic diving expert, Cynthia Potter. The last time we saw high diving on Wide World of Sports, a young athlete named Dana Kunze finished third in the World High Diving Championships. He was the dominant force in the sport for much of the 80s. 10 years later, Dana Kunze, now 33, is back. But the sport has changed dramatically. The difficulty of the dives is higher than it's ever been, thanks to the acrobatic skills we'll be seeing today. The newer participants include Tom and Todd Michael, who've been divers since they could walk, and high dive performers like Danny Higginbottom, who calls the heights addicting, and a three-time Pac-10 diving champion from Arizona State, Dan Plant, along with the Russian immigrant and former Soviet diving champion, Alex Palatnikov. They must perform 3 dives each, one from 80, 90, and 100 feet, and our standings after the first 2 rounds shows Tom Michael in first place, followed by Plant and Tom's brother Todd. Kunze, who qualified in 5th, is now in last place. Starting off the 3rd round is Todd Michael, our youngest competitor at 23. His 2nd round dive, Cynthia, put everyone in a state of shock.
And it could have been completely disastrous because as he took off for this dive, the perch that he's standing on gives way underneath his feet, and it affects his entry on his quad somersault. He can't go in vertically. He lands more on his chin. He comes up grabbing his mouth because he bit through his tongue, hurt his back also. Now there's the perch. It's not secured to the ladder so that when he takes off, there it gives about 3 inches underneath his feet. As a result, he can't go in the water vertically, and he injures himself. What injuries did you come out with?
Severed tongue and lower back injury.
And you're going to continue?
Right now.
Why are you going to continue when you hurt yourself?
Because I'm a competitor.
No question about that. Todd was given a redive where he scored 7s and 7.5s for 81 points. Now at 100 feet, he'll attempt a forward 3-position somersault.
I would be so concerned about pushing off of that perch knowing that I had injured myself previously. Extremely impressive. He is very assertive off of that platform, and that's the best thing about this dive. He goes after it knowing that in order to have control on a high dive, you have to push hard on the top.
Here's his father, Jack, a high school coach who helped kick off his son's diving career.
You see that push right there, that jump into the air? That is not tentative at all. He is going after the dive, and like he said, he's a competitor. Beautiful dive, just a little bit short on the rotation going in the water.
And so the official marks 7s and 7.5s for a total of 51.6 points on that 2.4 degree of difficulty dive. In Olympic diving, the high platform is at 10 meters, approximately where I'm standing now. But in the final round of today's competition, the athletes will climb an additional 7 stories to the 100-foot perch, and Cynthia's there now.
Whoa, this is fabulously frightening. This is definitely not 10 meters.
Cynthia, I know there'd be no doubt about whether I'd panic. Well, anyway, we'll be back with more diving right after this. Dana Kunze is trying to recapture the glory of his younger days. A former cliff and target diving champion, in 1983, he set a world record by diving from 172 feet.
He's in good shape. He knows where it is. All right!
Well, Mom, I know you're watching somewhere. This one's for you.
Dana's mother passed away 2 years ago. And as his daughter Jenna looks on, he's preparing for his most difficult last round dive, a back double somersault with 3 twists. It's a brand new dive. He knew he was going to be a little bit short of vertical. He bent his knees just slightly as he came out of the twist, and with a snap of his fingers, he knows it could have been just a little better.
Well, the water under the tower here is 20 feet deep, and if the divers enter vertically, they can go in right to the sandy bottom, up to their ankles. As Kunze gets out, the judges give him 7s and 7.5s for a total of 72.6 points, and he takes the lead.
And no wonder. He's the only man in the world doing this difficult dive. It's a new dive for him, but just as he comes out of the twist, right there, he bends his knees and straightens them back out before he goes into the water.
I'm just happy to be here again after 10 years.
In 4th at the end of the last round, Alex Palatnikov has an interesting history. An international caliber diver, he left the Soviet Union. He soon found work performing with professional water shows around the world. He currently lives in Hong Kong, performing 4 shows a day, 6 days a week.
This is the dive where he shows off his artistic ability. Absolutely wonderful dive. That's the kind of dive that a diver going from the 3-meter springboard or the 10-meter platform would do. And this carries a very low degree of difficulty because it's only 1 somersault in the reverse direction. He touches his toes, comes out of the position, goes back into a new position, tuck, stretches out again, and goes in feet first. That demonstrates those 3 positions.
Well, Alex needed 9.5 to take the lead. His 3rd round dive is a reverse triple somersault with a full twist.
And this is historic because Cosmo is the only diver doing this dive. A beautiful entry into the water. He goes in with a rip entry. That means he doesn't make any splash when he goes in. And this water is considered soft for the divers because it is 99% pure, no minerals in it. An abundance of minerals makes for hard water, and that hurts. And as he takes off, you see him looking at the water when he comes out of the somersault, stretches out, and then turns around to go in feet first for that hopefully soft rip entry. And we do see a little bit of splash, but not much.
And Cosmo gets congratulations from his mom as his scores 8.5s and 9s.
There's no way that the wind distracted Danny Plant on that dive. That was a beautiful reverse somersault demonstrated in 3 different positions.
Plant has been diving for 27 years. Now the 5-time All-American gets 8.5s and 9s to take the lead from Danny Cosmo by over 11 points.
Danny spots the water 10 stories below him where the spray is hitting the surface of the water so that he can see exactly where the surface begins to go in vertically on the dive.
So the 2-time national age group champion is now poised to become the world champion. Our final competitor is Tom Michael. Tom, at 30, runs his own water show production company in France. It seems that all the other divers have been talking about this week has been his new dive. In the 2nd round, he performed a dive that had never been done prior to this week, a forward double somersault with 4.5 twists.
This is the most amazing dive I've ever seen, and nobody's ever thought of doing this. It's a 3.8 degree of difficulty, and I can see why. He does 4 twists, comes out, looks at the water, and then goes back in for 1 more half twist before hitting the water. Incredible.
The 3.8 degree of difficulty dive did not even exist on the charts last year, and there is Dad giving him a little body English, helps him into the water. That dive earned over 100 points to put him in the lead. Now he's following the other divers. He's at 100 feet where he'll attempt a forward 3-position somersault. It's a 2.4 degree of difficulty, and Tom needs 8s from the judges to win the title. Once again, Cynthia is able to speak with Tom from where she's standing with his father and lifelong coach.
I got a friend of yours down here, and he's going to speak to you.
All right.
Hi, son.
Hi, Dad.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Got a good view up here.
Well, we got a great one down here, and I'll tell you the same thing I've told you all your years of diving. Have fun, and let's see a 10.
All right, I'm going for it.
Okay.
This dive is more demanding from 100 feet than 10 meters because there is so much more time to make a mistake and the consequences potentially more disastrous.
Wow, what an entry.
That is a beautiful dive. A forward somersault in 3 positions. Absolutely wonderful.
Ow.
Well, I guess, Cynthia, even a perfect entry stings a bit from 100 feet. Let's see if he has the scores necessary. Yes, he does. 3 perfect 10s.
This dive requires a lot of patience because it's only 1 somersault, but he demonstrates those 3 positions beautifully and doesn't panic and get out of control. Tommy, congratulations. You are the world champ.
Well, thank you very much. It was a good contest. It really was. Everybody hit dives the way I thought they would hit them. It was just a great all-around contest.
So our results are official. Tom Michael wins the title, followed by Dan Plant and Danny Cosmo Higginbottom. Dana Kunze still has what it takes to finish 4th. It's great to see quality high diving back and in such great form. As Tom Michael is crowned champ, we say our goodbyes from Florida. On behalf of my partner, Cynthia Potter, I'm John Neighbor saying thanks for watching.